So I decided to come on here and tell my business to the world because I genuinely need help. This has been the worst 3 months of my life. I'm a single mom. I'm unemployed. I got my surgery and I got unemployed an hour after coming back from my PTO from said surgery. So I spent a large lump sum of money and then an hour later was like, oh yeah, by the way, bye. Cool. Um, that being said, I only got a couple weeks severance from being laid off. And I had to empty my 401k in order to help pay my rent. Unemployment only pays you half of what you get before. So I have been using that, but I'm running out of unemployment. Yes, there is a limited amount that unemployment was willing to give you. Um, and this is the last month that I can pay my rent so far. I have applied to 150 jobs. I was very active on campus and active within the accounting community and asked a lot of people in different firms, different companies if they were hiring or if they knew anybody hiring. And excuse me, a lot of firms and companies got laid off at the same time. But the difference is I'm entry level. So a lot of the people that I know that got laid off was able to get something quicker because a lot of managerial positions are hiring for people with, well, most even regular positions, like the lowest entry level is asking for 3 to 5 years of experience.
What we have to understand is this. When you're a single baby mama and you're everything is dependent on you, you have to move very differently. I don't know what that surgery that you got, but if it wasn't life threatening, you probably shouldn't have gotten that surgery. You probably should have stayed at that job and prove yourself and continue to keep that job. And what we see is that it goes back to the original premise of what I've always talked about is that, having kids and not having the support system, not having the husband, not having a nuclear family is very, very hard on these women. And these women are coming out here asking for advice, asking for money. And it's just one of those things that we look at is just like you put yourself in this scenario, right? So I don't know what the surgery is, but if it's not life or death, I probably would be saying don't get that surgery. Focus on your job, focus on keeping your job. And this is what we have to tell these women as far as this, because we see a lot of this. Layoffs, losing your job, quitting your jobs, it's always something that has to do with single moms, and they say, I'm a single mom. And it's one of those things is that you chose that life for yourself. You chose to put yourself in this scenario, and you have to get yourself out. And this just goes continually go to what we're seeing, right? People making these mistakes, basically putting themselves in a harder situation, right? It's probably really hard for her because everything's running out and she still has to take care of her kids. She still has to put a roof over her head, over both of their heads. She's responsible for that. And that's why you see these women crashing out, stressed out, crying online. It's because, you're putting yourself in this scenario and it just sucks. But we are not supposed to help these people. And I get a lot of flack for that, but you can't help these people. You can't send the cash apps. You can't send, the Venmos, the Zales to these people. You have to let these people figure it out because if you don't, they will continue to see you as a source of income. Yes, she is trying. She has to keep trying. She can't look for a handout. And I think that is what we're seeing from a lot of these single moms that are going through things that everybody else is going through, but it's more of an impact on them. It's because they have to do everything because of their child and the situation that they're in. At the end of the day, man, we have to give these people tough love. And that is what I really preach because I wouldn't want anybody helping me out unless I do everything that I need to do. I want to figure it out because just in case this happens again, I'll be able to get myself out of the situation.
And I'm an entry level. So why would I have 3 to 5 years of experience if I graduated last year? So, yes, I have worked with my college campus. I worked with recruiters. I have contacted people on LinkedIn. I am mainly looking at jobs either through LinkedIn or through going based off of industry. So I will look at all accounting firms one day and apply to everything. I will go to all oil and gas companies, then all medical centers and stuff like that. And I go industry by industry. And like I said, I'm at 150 job applications at this point. I've probably had 8 or 9 interviews.
I've put it like this. If you're a single baby mama, you should have a blue collar job. I don't understand why these single baby mamas, because they are really dependent on their income, right? These office jobs, y'all, everybody goes to these office jobs and they want this comfortable in the office because you guys did all this schooling. Why don't, like, if I know, if I'm a woman or even if a man, right? I am a man, duh. But if I'm a single parent and I'm taking care of these kids, I'm not trying to chase a job that's going to be comfortable for me. I'm getting a job or getting a career that I know will be in constant demand and I can make a lot of money in it. And I don't have to worry about having a tough time to find a job. I feel like these single moms should go out and get a blue collar job. Be an electrician, be a plumber, be a welder. I know a lot of I got female welders in my family that make bank, right? I really feel like if you got a kid, you need to get away from these jobs that are comfortable where you can be in the office and you can be sitting down. I believe if you decided to make that decision and have a child, get a blue collar job. Instead of going to college for 4 or 5 years, hit that trade school for 10 months to a year and get on that field and make that real money. Because you know why? When you become a single parent, it ain't about what you want to do anymore. It's about how can I put my child in the best position to succeed. As you see right now, a lot of these schools, public schools, is crap. You need to get enough money to where you can put your kid in private school, put your kid around a different set of people that's going to push them ahead. And I really feel like a lot of y'all single baby mamas are too bougie. And you guys want these office jobs. And then you guys come back and complain about these office jobs. Or then you lose your job. You get laid off. And now you can't find another job because all of y'all is going to the same job. Look at blue collar. I don't understand why these single moms, single parents don't say, you know what, I'm gonna get into blue collar because I know I'm gonna make some money and I know I'm gonna be in demand.
For 8 or 9 different companies for interviews. And my main thing that they're saying is that I don't have enough experience. Um, I am a single mom, like I said, and I don't know what to do. So if you guys have any ideas of what to do to job search, if y'all know anybody hiring accountants, um, this is very heartbreaking. Um, because I don't have family. I don't have anybody to ask for help. So please let me know if you guys can think of anything, or if you guys know anybody that's hiring.
At the end of the day, I'm always gonna go back to this premise. I'm always gonna go back to what I always say in a lot of these videos. Your number one goal as a woman is to never be a single baby mama. Because as we see, especially we see it in 2026, because you got to have a job to get these benefits now. You can't just be doing nothing and get everything for free. So what we're seeing this in broad daylight right in front of us. If you're a single baby mama, your life will be hard. You will be crying. You will be stressed out. You will be crashing out. We've done seen all forms of these videos, right? Your job is very important to you. You have to make sure you have the right job. You have to make sure you have the right career. And I always tell this, when you have these kids, you got to have a support system. If you don't, and you're trying to do this all by yourself because you hear your favorite rapper or you hear your favorite feminist or you hear your favorite Democrat telling you that you're a strong woman, you fall into that. And then you start to see that you ain't that strong. Then you're starting to see that, I don't have a support system. But you guys know you didn't have no support system before you had kids, right? And I really feel that, it needs to be an application before a lot of y'all women have kids because y'all putting y'all kids in a bad scenario from the jump. You stressed out, you crashed out, you ain't got no support, then you lose your job, and now you struggling to get food and get housing. You can't find another job because your degree or whatever your experience is, you don't have enough. You're putting your kids in a bad spot. And that is the reason why we look at the generation coming up and we see them struggling. It's because of these single baby mamas raising these kids without the support system, without the right job, without the right career. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It's always some cute thing rock. Keep it going. Tap into the No Filter Morning Show. Link in the show description below. I appreciate you guys, and I'm out. I'm not African American, bro. I'm American. Temporary status shouldn't be 40 years. This is why we can't help single moms. We gotta make snitching great again. If I see a man, he don't take care of his kids, he's a bum. Unsubscribe. I'm still gonna keep going up. My issue is that you are really hard on single mothers. It will always be the woman's fault. Start snitching, y'all. I haven't seen a smart black Democrat. Let's keep it funky. Why was the woman created? It's called the No Filter Morning Show. It's straight like that.